hello, and welcome to the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship presented by Latitude 64. We are still in Portland, Oregon at Milo, McIver. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Allie Smith.
And we are not the two hot geese, but we're going to have a great time anyways.
For sure.
Thanks to Allie Smith for filling in the booth this week. We love to have new faces here, and we know you guys are enjoying it after her pairing with Erica yesterday. But before we get started, Disc Golf Network just launched a new free tier. So you can experience the network without putting in any credit card info. You can watch the first 3 rounds of the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship live for free on Disc Golf Network. The new Disc Golf Network free tier also gets video on demand, access to the select live content included in the standard plan, and 1 week after its live release. Please go check it out. We're watching Missy, Gannon, Holyn, Handley, Paige, Pierce, and Valerie Mandujano today on the second round at Milo. And then unfortunately, we're leaving and going to Glendoveer tomorrow. Here we are on hole 1. Jen Allen aced this hole. Was it last year?
Yes.
Really? Yeah, last year.
The year before.
Oh, year before.
Sorry.
What a way to start out a round. And this is a tough one to get. It's a nice big turning shot that pans at the end. It's 345 feet. You're happy if you have a circle 2 putt here. There's a couple sucker branches early and late. We're immediately going to check in with Sophia Dunica on the 3rd card. Canadian zone.
Looking good. Wow.
Bullseye immediately?
Said lucky for C2. That's even better.
Dang, bullseye on hole 1.
It's a good way to start.
Yeah, it looks like she is the only player that parked the hole today.
We had a beautiful sunny day today.
Oh my gosh, it was perfect. Yesterday it was, drizzly and cold. A pretty nonstop drizzle. Today it was just warm, calm. Everything was nice and dry. The tee pads were grippy.
I got sunburnt.
You got sunburned?
I did.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. It was actually kind of on the hot side.
Missy with a beautiful throw. Clips the last tree, but putting.
Look at Holyn Handley's round 1, 86% of the time finding the fairway and making 83% of her circle 1X putts. That is a way to find birdies. And doing all that in those wet conditions with the slippery tee pads is impressive.
And pressure, right? She won this last year, so.
Yeah, there is always that pressure to defend. Kind of strange to have 2 defenders this year now that we've combined the Portland Open with the Beaver State Fling. Playing both of those courses back to back. We still do have a 3rd round cut after 1 round at Glendoveer. Paige, a little bit of a grip lock here. She's going right towards that big tree on the right.
Didn't see a result, but we got claps, so green flag.
Also at 5 down from San Antonio, Texas, your 2025 Texas State Disc Golf Champion, Valerie Mandujano.
Love to see Valerie Mandujano back out here.
Yeah, she missed the last event. I think she had to drop due to personal reasons, but yeah, glad she's back.
It was a tough one to get to, too. It's in Washington. It's beautiful, but it is out of the way, to say the least. Bunch of great shots from our lead card, Paige. Gonna have to do a little bit of extra work to scramble this.
Tries to chip a hyzer in there forehand and finds the only guardian tree.
Yeah, we don't get to see many forehands from Paige, especially this year, but that was a nice looking shot.
There's kind of that C2 look you were talking about in the flyover.
Yes, only 6 competitors got to circle 1 in regulation out of 44, but 16 got to circle 2 in regulation.
little low, maybe not the putt you want to get started in your round, but
Yeah, and it is always a bummer to bogey hole 1 on any course, but this hole sees a surprising amount of bogeys. It's just kind of a weird hole 1, but I think it's still good. I like it. I think it's a great hole for FPO. Just a weird starting hole. There were only 3 birdies. Missy Gannon almost gonna get one of those. I'm going to shout them out. Besides Sophia Dunica, Hannah Wynn, and tournament director extraordinaire of the Portland area, Madison Tomeno, knocking this one down.
she's a gem of a human.
She sure is. She's such a hard worker in the Portland disc golf community. Everyone give kudos to Madison.
Yeah, it's a good starting hole. This is not like an original hole 1.
No.
Right.
Yeah. The layouts changed so much over the last 11 years I've played this course that it's going to be hard to comment on it. But yeah, I think they've dialed it in really nicely for the championship layout. Let's check in real quick with Owen Scoggins ahead on 3. She's on the 3rd card and Artie's got a birdie.
We've got Sophia here. She's birdied hole 1. Tracking right to the pin. Puts it right next to it. It's a great start for the 3rd card.
I'm sure y'all talked about it yesterday, potentially, but Sophia was kind of a newer name on the circuit. Oh my gosh. Owen is not, however. Owen doing Owen things. And this basket is very elevated. It's up on a hill. It feels a little scary. I think scarier than the lighthouses.
The lighthouses.
The tall baskets on the Pro Tour.
Oh, I have not heard them call that. Okay.
But yeah, Sophia from
British
BC,
Columbia?
Yeah, BC, Canada. She had a standout performance last year at the Portland Open where all 4 rounds were at Glendivier. And nice to see her doing well already out Milo McIver.
Here we are at hole 2. We've got a par 5. Your objective is to keep it in bounds and move ahead to the fairway. 805 feet. It is a bit shorter on the par 5. We saw some eagle attempts and bids, so maybe we'll see one today. You can fly the right or the left side of that 220 tree and find your way, or flying the hyzer right-hand backhand gap. But there is like a forehand left side gap. A lot of options. Execute your shot.
This is a really cool par 5. We played a longer tee pad a couple years back, but I really like the change here. But before we get into it, shout out to Zach Wygant. He is our Patreon disc winner. You get a signed disc from the JomezPro practice round. Congratulations. And if you want to be in the running for that every week, check out the JomezPro Patreon.
Good stuff.
So Missy just doing that hyzer off the tee, and that's nice. It's usually you see it with a mid or a fairway, and you don't mess around with that OB line on the left side, which is a bit of a newer ad on the course.
Okay.
Used to mess around over on that left side a lot, but I think it's a good addition, that OB. You see a lot of people also doing, like Allie said, the big forehands or a turning shot. I can't decide which one I think's better. They're both good.
I think it's kind of what your play is. If you're playing for birdie, just a chip out here like you see Valerie doing is perfectly fine as long as it's safe. Yep. Or if you're trying to go for that eagle bid, something more like Holyn, pushing towards that big tree or past it.
Obviously, avoid that bush on the right side. It's crazy how tough it can be to get out of these huge trees at Milo McIver.
Paige listened to you. She did. We see Missy lining up the right side backhand gap. See if she can correct yesterday. She sure does. Good angle. Skip tape. Really anywhere that's safe. Paige has got the green light now, being on this right side for a large throw.
Lots of room to work over here. But that OB line is definitely in play on the right by that fence. That's got a late tree hit, but it's not going to hurt her at all. She's probably going to be in jump putt range.
Here, seeing more of the stock birdie play. Chip along the fairway.
Once you hyzer at the end of the flight, just like we saw Valerie, you kind of get into this middle zone where you have to throw a blind hyzer through a little gap or a blind forehand a little higher on the left side. Both of them work great. I like this friendly par 5.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's a good, like 1 and 2. Good start to Milo here. Where is that circle 2, maybe? I don't know. It's a good throw, though, by Holyn.
Missy's third, trying to crash through the guardian trees onto the green. She sure does. She might have an obstructed putt. There's quite a bit of that on this hole and just this course in general. Here's Paige still with a little chip, almost to the jump putt range.
Just outside bullseye for a birdie.
Third of the field, able to birdie this one, with way over half the competitors getting at least a circle 2 in regulation.
A little long there for Val, but I'm in the circle. A bit of a blind approach. Hyzer forehand from Holyn.
Man, she's so far down there. Nice little chip shot.
Yeah, she was in that last bush on the left side. That's way down there.
Like this artistic view, and we'll get a birdie from it too.
The shade was the place to be today. Nice and cool.
Missy, coming off of that win at Cascade Challenge, that's some of the best disc golf that Eric and I agree that we have watched in the booth in a long time. She was throwing the disc so well. And even though Cascade does have a lot tighter of fairways, it's a little bit similar on the types of shots that you're throwing. And the big trees, like there's something about the big trees that kind of change your depth perception. And you get that feeling out here at Milo as well. Holyn going to take her first birdie of the round amongst these big trees.
Yeah, you can tell that the confidence that Missy has had from the last 2 events is carrying through, and she can rely on her thrashers that she was throwing a lot out here.
And like every hole you could throw a thrasher, legitimately. I like it because you do reach for your fairways a good amount off the tees here, but the thrasher is also going to work on almost every hole.
Yes. No eagles from the lead card there, but some birdies and a par.
And no eagles on the day today.
Ah.
If we played another round out here, I know we'd see more. Hole 3 is a friendly little par 3. There's one gotcha branch on that right side that's late in the flight. I like to throw kind of more of a force turning shot that pans as you get towards this little ant mound that the basket's perched on. The OB is pretty tight around the edge if you accidentally blast one or turn one over. You're not thinking about it necessarily on the putting green though, but it is a nice addition. Just makes you think a little extra off the tee. You can't just simply crash a hyzer anymore.
I think that's a good example of useful added artificial punishment.
Totally. I feel like this hole's cool because you can see people throw anything from putter all the way up to driver. And it even I feel like changes on the day what I choose. Today I threw a driver. Yesterday I threw a fairway. In practice I was throwing a mid. It just depends on how you're feeling. What do you throw?
Fairway.
Fairway.
Hyzer flip up.
It's hard to get your disc to land right on that ant mound, so you are often putting up. Holyn, though. Oh, blasting over the top of it.
Little ace run. I think she went a slower disc. I think she went mid there. Yesterday, Holyn and Paige both went mid off the tee. It looks to be the same. They're kind of throwing it higher in the air. That makes me feel that slower speed disc.
Ooh. Paige playing with that OB line. She'll have a little bit of work for her birdie putt. And Valerie headed towards that little bit of a gotcha branch. She'll be in the last shul on the right side.
Oh, not even. She's got to look at it, yeah.
Oh, I love those floaty bids from Val.
They're confident.
You know Paige is running this. Yeah.
Not even a jump, just a step. Interesting. I've known her to be a jump putter.
Yeah, I like the change. That looked really controlled. I feel like even if she airballed, that would have checked up nicely too. What a great disc golf shot. And nice momentum builder starting into this round.
Holyn looking at a birdie putt, just a little long. Not a problem.
Same amount of birdies on hole 3 as hole 2. We're looking at potential for 2 in a row for Missy Gannon.
You said the same amount on 2 as 3.
Yep.
Wow.
15 birdies.
Okay.
A lot more holes averaging under par today, over half. Right at half the holes averaging under par. Yesterday we saw most of them averaging over par. So conditions were definitely helping the field out. Check in again with Sophia Dunica on 5. This is the Eagleable par 5.
She's got that drive way down the fairway.
This is the landing zone. You see a lot of people in that huge Douglas fir. She pitches out, has this little technical hyzer over OB.
Puts herself in position.
Yeah.
Oh,
really nice clappers in this gallery too. 3 down through 5. What a way to start at Milo.
Not quite Christmas trees. Better than Christmas lights. She had the green
Yeah.
par, green
Oh,
par. Yeah.
I love that.
Yesterday, Holyn had the Christmas lights, so better start for Holyn here today. Hole 4, we've got a par 4, 1 tree to avoid off the tee. We're flying the right side gap. I think most people are throwing the left side, trying to get your disc to turn away from the out of bounds. The second shot is a very difficult approach to the elevated basket, a 90-degree right-hand turn. If you can get a high spiking forehand, I don't know how to throw the Anheuser to get to that pin. That might be more Madison. This is a tough hole. It played really, really hard yesterday.
It's a hard Anheuser, and because it obviously is blind, but the OB is deep on the green. So if you deep and right, so if you err in any way on that Annie, you are finding OB. So it feels a little risky to attack with that shot. The forehand, I think, is the way if you got it.
Mm-hmm. That's just a safe play by Missy.
So Missy has gone 3 out of 4 shots Thrasher so far this round, which is, I'm curious how many it will be at the end. We'll keep track of that. We'll keep you guys posted.
There's the big vulture shot from Holyn. Let's see if it can hold.
Oh no. A gift that Holyn has, though, is the forehand. And from there, she potentially can still get up and down. Not something that many players would even try.
And it's more open, being as far left as possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Paige skittering OB as well. I was talking with some players the other day about how this used to be hole 17.
Oh, whoa.
And so, or wait, was it 18? Oh my gosh, I can't even. No, I think it was 17. And so you used to approach this hole so differently. You're like, okay, I know I need to birdie it, or I need to play this one safe. And now it's kind of, you don't see players getting quite as aggressive because they don't really have to. And this is a tough FPO hole. You can see Missy just playing this one for par.
And knowing how it averaged for the field, it's great play.
Yep.
And knowing she also knows that Paige and Holyn went out of bounds on their drives, so
Yep.
at worst.
This is the second most difficult hole of the day. That's surprising. I knew it was going to be difficult, but
It was number 1 yesterday.
oh, was it?
I believe
Okay.
so.
Dang, that's makes me feel better. Looks like that one checks up just in the nick of time, but that is a hot spot on the heat map for where players are landing with that Annie shot. Here's Paige trying to recover, going aggressive. Wow.
She showed me. That's how you do it.
That is so good. Paige has played here so many times. She's probably knows that shot just like the back of her hand.
Clips the little tree right in front. Was able to get past.
Yeah, that's the error to make. I guess that tree made the decision, but being on the short side is good.
Oh, Missy going with a right foot forward forehand. That's uncomfortable.
Some ultimate player style.
Not a problem. She's got that forehand dialed.
Yeah, we've gotten to watch Missy really work that into her game the last couple of weeks. She was very stubborn about using it at Cascade Challenge, and it is paying off. Ugh. Holland's so close to recovering the par after the OB drive. Let's see if Valerie can get a long birdie. First one of the round.
Online, just a little short.
This elevated basket. A lot of pars on this hole, 55% of the field. With a par, it averaged at a half stroke over, though, with 45% of the field taking a bogey or worse. There was only one birdie. Ella Hansen, shout out.
This is definitely a hole where distance is an advantage.
Definitely. And her forehand, I mean, it's so good. I always like to say show off after she throws because it's so good. I'm like, wow. It never gets old watching. What a flex birdieing the hardest hole, second hardest hole of the day today.
But it's nice to have some hard ones in there. You know,
we love that.
We accept and respect.
Occasionally.
Yes.
Not always.
Not all of them.
Oh yeah, here's hole 5 that we just watched Sophia Dunica play. It's the Eagle Bowl par 5. It does demand a very tough tee shot, though. Look how far that tunnel is. It's really narrow as well, and you almost have to get a little lucky missing that big tree at the very end. Once you're out there, the landing zone is a little bit holy. There's lots of ridges and bumps, so this shot is straightforward. It's probably only 275 or maybe 300 from the landing area if you get there on the tee, but it can be tough. There's some low-hanging branches as well, so you have to really punch something across that OB road. You can't necessarily rely on the gentle flight of a mid. This is a eagle that everyone can get in the field, but it feels so good when you do get it.
You're right. That's just fine. Unobstructed, maybe in a bush, but maybe not. Out of position for the 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to follow up that tough par 4 with a softer par 5, though.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny, like it does come across as a little soft, but then you play it one day and you just like triple it and you're like, well, guess it has teeth.
It does. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of danger on all of these holes.
Mm-hmm. The rough is very rough out here. Everything is super lush. I love this shot from Valerie. She's just on the short side of that big tree. We'll see if she has footing and if she decides to go for it.
It's interesting coming. This is only my third year, but the 3 years, the fairway gap slightly changes with how the branches have grown in.
Legitimately. And like even on the wet days, it really makes a difference on how low the branches are hanging. On some of the greens, I'm like, what is this thing hanging here where you weren't here in practice? Mm-hmm. Yep, Missy just gonna chip up.
Avoiding the large divot. There's one large kind of pocket on the fairway.
Holyn on the heat map in a red zone. This bush collects so many discs.
Yeah, you could have said that was the clip from yesterday.
She had the same exact shot.
It looked the exact same. Yep.
Paige right on the path going across the fairway, and she's going to use it as a tee pad. Looks like she's lining this up. Wow, look at the glide at the very end of the flight of that disc. So good, so straight. Low-hanging branches weren't even in the picture. And that is an eagle look for Paige Pierce.
Valerie's not so fortunate with her footing and placement, has to pitch up.
So after your pitch up, you have this shot. It's straightforward. You know what you have to do, but it's not easy by any means. Missy working it as far wide to the right as you can.
Definitely the mistake you want to make if you're going to make a mistake.
Holyn with more of a straight or even turning shot.
Well executed, making it look like the soft par 5 we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's so easy. Wow. Okay, it actually did play as the easiest hole of the day. That's so weird. But I guess in years past, it was a par 4 for many years, and it always played as one of the hardest holes.
Oh,
So,
really? Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
when it was a par 4, it was, yeah. But it looks like almost 60% of the field birdieing this one today.
How many bogeys?
Not many. Wow. Only 14 with a bogey or worse.
No.
14%.
Yeah. So it might be just me.
And one eagle. Paige Pierce, the only one of the day.
And like to the bullseye.
Making it look easy. Oh, we got a star frame too. $25 to Edge. Our first one of the round. On the easiest hole of the day. You guys better do that, honestly.
Well, we would have. Erica and I played What's the Easiest Hole game. We would have got it wrong today.
Oh, I forgot about the game.
Yeah, sorry. Here we go on hole 6, par 4. Throw a hyzer backhand out as far as you can to avoid the stuff on the left. And there's like an electrical box. Don't want to be obstructed there. There's a lot of rough footing in this middle area. The tough part, though, there is an out-of-bounds creek that you've got to cross in order to have a look for a birdie putt on this beautiful green elevated on the stump.
Yeah, the stump hole is legendary in disc golf. Everyone's probably seen a picture of this scenic green on a nice misty day. The addition, they had it last year as well, but I think a lot of players protested the OB area in front of the basket, and sadly it made its way back on the course today. I think it's a change I would make on this course of taking that OB out. And I don't know what it looks like. Maybe it would make the whole play significantly easier. Today it was the third most difficult hole of the day. But yeah, I guess I don't know how I would change it, but I just don't quite love it. It feels a little bit like a poke and hope as you throw your shots into the green.
Yeah, or I have a different... like a poke and slam, really. The second shot, you're just trying to throw a driver as hard as you can to make it over and safe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But the thing is, a lot of players can't quite reach it there. Mm-hmm. So, like where our drives are landing, you can't slam. Some players can, and they do. like Allie said. But when you do slam too, behind the basket, there's not a lot of putting options. It kind of leaves you in an area where you end up just having to lay up.
I don't know how far the MPO are playing a par 3 for this hole.
Yep.
I don't know how far that tee pad is, but maybe if that is somewhere in the 350 range, that could be a potential.
It is 455.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's
okay.
a far one.
Yep.
Yeah, there's something there. And I honestly think that maybe they could have like OB only on one side or pull it back a little bit. I don't know. There's something there. But this is such an iconic, beautiful hole. It's something that you want to be able to go for. We're going to watch Missy Gannon attack. Not worried about this OB. Oh.
The tree said yes. Shakes her head. Getting all the love. And with the OB where it is, it eliminates the option of like the cool putt on the stump hole.
Yep.
That's what we want to see.
True that.
Like you said, a lot of layups.
Just want to putt on the stump.
Yeah.
Holyn slams softly. It's a really nice touchy shot.
These ladies got so far off the tee, they are clear of any obstruction.
That's true. They are so much farther than a lot of the field is going. Paige looking like she's almost throwing a little chip shot. And it gets over that OB just fine.
If you can throw that inside hyzer, it feels wrong off the tee, but it gets you so much distance if you can get past the corner. And
that corner tree's scary, though. It's
Yeah.
so hard to attack. Let's see. It looks like almost half the field with a bogey or worse. Only 7 birdies on the day today. Paige with a little fern action on the back foot.
I mean, I think it offers score separation, 7 birdies. You said half the field bogey or worse.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just I don't like it. You know what I mean?
That's okay.
Yeah. It's here's Paige with a pretty brutal comeback putt. The ceiling is so low back there, and you can see her coming up short of the cage. Little work here left. She's gonna have to settle for a bogey.
Yeah, that hurts when you didn't go OB. You did the hard work and didn't get the putt to fall. Missy snatching birdies off the tree.
4 down through 6. Valerie playing a solid round, but not quite able to find as many birdies.
There's cement in the stump. Let's see what the leaderboard's got for us. You see Merch up. Cat Merch is up in 3rd. 3 down through 7.
Lisa Fake is working her way up as well. Hole 7, a downhill par 3. This is a tough one. We play the same tee pad and basket as MPO. And while it's such a fun shot to throw in practice, you find yourself just like emptying your bag. It's just like maybe a little too far for the FPO field. And we will see players get there and get a putt, but oftentimes the best shot you've thrown in your life is to like 50 feet. It's also extremely punishing when you're trying to get aggressive. And if you try to play safe, it doesn't necessarily always reward the safe play. So there's just this weird middle ground that is hole 7. At least it is very fun to throw. And we had some really nice calm conditions because the wind can make things wild on this hole.
That's for sure. I think what really makes this the next shots difficult, other than the 420 downhill, there's a lot of low hanging branches, a lot of ticklers, a lot of things to kind of get in your way and not have a clean approach.
Yeah, and because you're so high up, if you make connection with any of those branches early, your disc can just careen wildly. And the rough early is brutal, like not recoverable. That's so good.
Yeah. Got the nose angle just right there, but leaving her 50 short.
Yeah, and a lot of times you land to the left as well, right where we see Valerie landing. And There's two big trees on either side of the green, and oftentimes you don't have a putt. You have no way to putt. You'll be, 15 feet away and no way to see a chain. Let's see if Valerie and Paige are able to find a putt from their landing spots.
We talked about how hard the drive was in 3 of our competitors. I mean, all 4 are right in the middle of the fairway, but 3 of this lead card put it almost C2.
Yeah.
If not C1.
So impressive. Missy, you can see her kind of flubbing up that approach. She's going to have some work left for her for her par. Valerie with a nice wide open putt. A little bit of a ceiling. She gives it a good run.
This green is tough too. You have 2 rocks that cause kind of rollaways sometimes. The 4 large guardian trees, bushes around those trees.
And it's slightly elevated because it's up on a little mound.
Missy looks like she's got an open look.
Oh, man. Okay, just over a quarter of the field with a bogey or worse on this one. Paige also manages to find an open putt. Well, maybe a little bit of bushes in the way. Only 1 player got to circle 1 in regulation, and only 6 got to circle 2 in regulation. So looks like Holyn is our 1. Wow, and she is also the only birdie of the day.
She makes good from yesterday. She kind of put it in the exact same spot as yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
She got this drive dialed. Missy, unfortunately, going to card her first bogey.
Of the event?
Of the event? What?
Maybe. I think so.
Check it out.
A nice par for Paige and Valerie.
Yeah, of the event.
Of the event. Wow.
Dang. She's out here doing stuff always.
Checking in on the chase card. Here's Lisa. We're on the iconic Philo, hole 8. Second shot, putting it right in the position to attack the green.
Yeah, it's such a small landing zone if you want to try to throw any sort of hyzer shape. Lisa finds it perfectly, keeps it nice and low. It's so good.
Nice stable disc, flexing back to the pin, right to the bullseye. Picture perfect. We see an official lead change. Holyn Handley has overtaken Missy through 7 holes with that birdie bogey. Now here we are flying hole 8, the Philo hole, par 5. Your first objective is to throw a backhand hyzer to the middle of the fairway. Your second shot, you've got left or right gap. I think most people are throwing to the left side to approach the green, as Lisa we just saw throwing through the Philo gap, flexing a backhand. It's really difficult. There's a lot of limbs and branches, and it's elevated, throwing it up to down.
Yeah, the nose up really makes that third shot so hard.
The tall grass gets in my head a little bit here. You gotta make sure your disc is in the air.
It's so easy to go a little too early left, too.
Into the large tree left and have no out. Yeah.
Distance is obviously a huge advantage always, but on this hole especially, it really makes a big difference. If you are throwing around like the 300 to 330 foot range, your third shot is always going to be a very tough technical shot. If you can throw as far as we just saw Holyn, she's going to be able to crash something up on top of the hill potentially and just have a little chip to the green. So it really does make a big difference here. Paige, you see, trying to really wrap that corner and go as far as she can.
She passes the big tree that we were talking about, but is still a little in the rough and have some tough footing to deal with.
Just to keep everyone updated on Missy Gannon, she is now 7 for 8 on Thrashers.
Puts her right in the fairway. I'd keep throwing them. We saw yesterday Missy had to take the right side hyzer backhand gap on her third shot. So let's see if she wants to do that or if she's going to put it more towards the left on this second shot.
This landing zone has got a lot of little holes as well. Oh, she's on top of the hill?
She sure
Big
is.
distance Missy strikes again. That takes 2 really big shots.
See if she can get this disc to work left, just outside of the rough, but I think she's directly behind that tree.
Yeah, she might have a little bit of a sloped landing zone as well.
Almost looked like Holyn kind of powered down there.
Yeah, it sure does.
Way left. Should open up the hyzer backhand. Spike hyzer.
Yeah, Paige in the tall grass, still able to work a run up. She'll also be on that left side. There's got to be something over there for the Spike hyzer people. I can't speak on that.
Yeah, there is. I saw Jennifer Allen spike it to the circle, but it's
high. Oh,
takes power.
look at Valerie
Whoa.
going high line too. I love this. Comes up just a little short. She's in that corner, which on the heat map is red hot. We'll see if she can find a putt from those big Douglas fir branches.
And that's kind of the nose up angle we were talking about makes that shot so tough.
Missy looking a little lower, I think. Oh, I'm wrong. Huh. Perfect.
Yeah. There's a little gap there in the tree, it looked like, from people taking that line. Here's that Spike hyzer left side.
Paige has to go standstill. That's great.
Yeah, thrown near vertical.
Wow.
Right to the bullseye.
A third of the field birdieing this hole. That's so good.
Whoa.
Man, FPO is just getting so good. This used to be one of the hardest holes. It's the 8th most difficult hole today, so negligible. Wow. People are figuring it out and really minimizing bogeys.
That's amazing. I have to rethink this hole. I play it for par. I think it's hard.
It is hard. Valerie just forced to chip out and take par. You're happy with that on this hole, half the field with a par.
Okay. Very happy then.
But it averaged under par. Dang.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Nice
Holyn.
circle two putt.
She's got it all. Cool.
The body English.
Nice straight putter flight. I feel like every time at Milo on the slow messes, I want there to be little, like, I don't know, fireflies, little fairies.
Great bounce back for Missy.
Paige going from the rough twice in a row to a birdie.
Three down for the feature card here, lead card here. That's, yeah, doing the
really
thing.
Good.
Oh, well, it stayed in, but
bag
bag putt.
Bag
Yeah,
putt.
and it wasn't really a putt, more of a toss.
Another check-in with Sophia Dunica again.
Hole 10. Clips a little branch. Looks to be inside. It is inside. Short, circle 2.
Yes.
Cash money.
She knows halfway through the flight that thing is in. Yay, more Sophia highlights. Look at all those birdies in the first and second place positioning. Paige with the eagle as well. Let's wrap it up on the front 9 here at Milo with hole 9. The dream hole, I believe is what they
Yep,
call it here
yep.
locally. It lost some low-hanging branches. You used to be forced to throw more of a turning Anheuser shot that panned at the end, but now you can kind of go straight at it as long as you keep it low underneath those branches. I like a hyzer flip straight shot. You can throw that flexing backhand shot. Not enough room for a hyzer. This is one that is very similar to hole 7 that we played a few holes ago. That one was 420. This one's 442, but for whatever reason, maybe it's higher elevation, maybe it's more space to work, but it feels a lot more reachable. Even though it is slightly longer, I don't hate this par 3.
Yeah, unobstructed. There's you have a lot of shot shapes you can choose from. I think it's a little less elevation. We're not as high up. But yes, we are.
It's funny.
I don't know.
I think it's more elevation. I don't know, actually. It's hard to say. We're on the same hill. The tee pads are back to back.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
it's funny that I have better feelings about this one compared to hole 7 because the stats are exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
Low birdie percentage.
It's because this one's called the Dream.
Yeah.
That one's not.
It has a cool nickname. There is also half as many bogeys here on hole 9. A little bit easier to recover if you do err early. This green can be kind of brutal with the 2 huge trees, just like 7 though as well.
The water is right behind like the basket area. It doesn't really come into play. Maybe a drive that leaks left off the tee, but it adds to the ambiance of the hole.
Mm-hmm. Valerie with a little hyzer approach. Very well executed. So easy to overthrow this green. If you end up too far right, you got nothing.
Giving it a bid. Oh, no, short. It was right on track.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what a drive from Paige inside the circle. One of only 2 players to get there. Oh. Paige so close to so many birdies today. So many more birdies. Missy, the only other player to get inside the circle.
Oh, a tough straddle. That tree was directly in her lie there.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by the extremely wide straddle. There was only 1 birdie today on hole 9. Rebecca Dawn, shout out.
Canadian youngster.
Oh, it looks like Holyn was actually, Paige was actually outside the circle.
Oh, okay. Rebecca Dawn's a crusher. The Canadians are doing it.
Yeah, they
Here
are.
they are, yeah.
Rebecca just had a really great showing at Cascade Challenge as well, I believe.
And there's a handful of pars. The stats showed that.
Yeah, let's see. 77% of the field with a par on 9. One more check-in before we go. Jennifer Allen ahead on the 10th. Oh,
Do it.
Oh,
my
my
goodness.
some tree love.
Oh, are you guys that tall?
Jen definitely couldn't see that. This basket is blind from the tee pad for most people. What a great birdie.
Her discs got magnets off the tee. They're looking for the ace.
Yes,
out
they
here at Milo.
are. Holyn is going to be in the solo lead right now with a really hot score of 5 down so far. But look at everybody under par out here. This is Milo. This is not normal. But it looks like almost everyone in the top 15 is under par right now. To be in the top 10, looks like you need to be around 5 down overall. It's hard to say what the cut line is going to be, but we do have that cut tomorrow. I think we could see a 10 down at Milo, but and we've got a couple ladies on track, so come hang out with us on the back 9. See if we can pull it off here. Everyone just keeps getting better and better. Thank you again to the Founders Club. Don't forget, we are almost to 500K on YouTube.
500,000.
500,000.
Yeah.
It's wild. So be one of us. Ding the bell, like it, all that stuff. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Allie Smith.
And thank you guys for hanging. We'll see you on the back.
Peace.